Hello and welcome back everyone, Brandon here at Slingmods.com, and today we have our top case storage solution for the 2020 and up Can-Am Spyder RT. If you own a 2020 or newer Can-Am Spyder RT Base model, then you know firsthand that it doesn't come equipped with a rear top case like the more expensive RT Limited does. Now, you could go out and splurge for the factory rear top case from Can-Am, but if that's out of your budget, or you're just looking for a cheaper alternative, then you'll be happy to know that we partnered up with the team over at Shad Bags and Spyder Extras to bring you this. This luggage solution features an SH58X Shad top case that's been designed with modern aerodynamic styling and is made from a high-quality reinforced polypropylene plastic that resists extreme temperatures while also protecting the gear you have stowed away inside. The case features a stylish carbon-like paneling on top and features a comfortable two-piece passenger backrest as well as a removable storage liner so you can easily transport the contents of your luggage when you reach your destination. Now, one of our favorite things about this Shad top case is that it's expandable. By utilizing the red levers inside the top case, you can adjust the internal volume of the case from its lowest setting of 46 liters to 52 liters, and then all the way up to 58 liters. Now, if security is a concern for you, then you'll be happy to know that the top case includes a set of keys that lock the case when it's closed, while also locking the case to the bike. Now, when the key is turned to the open position, you can push in on the lock to flip up the handle. Then, once the handle is up, grab the latch underneath the uppermost lever to open the lid, and then access your belongings. And then if you'd like to remove the top case from the bike entirely, you can easily do so by turning the key to the release position, push in on the lock to flip up the handle, then pulling down on that lower lever to lift the top case up and off the bike, using the convenient handle to easily transport it once off the bike. And then that lower lever is also used to reattach the top case back onto the bike. Now, it's important to mention that this luggage system does require you to have the factory BRP link rack prior to installing our aftermarket luggage system. So if you don't already have the BRP link rack, I'll put the part number in the description below so you can pick one up. So now that you know what this mod is and what it can do for you, allow me to walk you through the installation process on our Shop 2020 Spyder RT.
Start by lifting your top rear panel up and off the bike and replace it with your BRP link rack. Then take your new Spyder Extras luggage rack and align it over top of your link rack so that you can see where the 3 outside holes on each side will be aligned. And then place strips of masking tape in that same area on the link rack. Now realign the luggage rack so that it's centered on the link rack and use a marking pin to mark the 6 outside holes onto the masking tape. Then you can remove the link rack and place it onto your workbench so they can use a 1/4-inch drill bit to drill out those 6 marks you just made. Now test fit the luggage rack to make sure all 6 holes line up. And if they all look good, you can go ahead and remove the masking tape. Next, take your Spyder Extras luggage rack and place it face down on your workbench. Then insert the 6 bolts up from underneath the rack. Add a spacer to each. And then slide your link rack system face down onto those 6 bolts, adding a washer to each. And topping them all off with the included nylon nuts, finger tight. So that you can flip the whole system over And use a 4mm Allen and 11mm socket to tighten everything down so that it's nice and snug, making sure not to over tighten. Now you can reattach the link rack to your bike and lock it into position. Then grab the Shad mount and align the two bottom outside square holes with the bottom of the two slots on the rack, and the top two holes on the rack aligned with the top two slots on the mount. Next, add two of the red square spacers to the bottom square holes, and then two metal brackets to the top two slots. Inserting the longer bolts into the red spacers, and the smaller bolts into the metal brackets. Then add a washer and nylon nut to each, finger tight for now. Before going back through and tightening them down with a Phillips head screwdriver and 10mm wrench, making sure not to over tighten. Next, you can snap the cover piece onto the Shad mount and insert the 4 included Phillips head screws finger tight to start. Before going back through and tightening them down the rest of the way, making sure not to over tighten. Now you can take your Shad top case and align the grooves in the bottom of the case with the slots in the mount, then lower it down so that it's just resting on top of the mount. Now insert your key and turn it to release, and then press in on the key button to pop out the handle so that you can press down on that lower lever, latching the case to the mount. Then turn your key to open, and then pull up on that upper lever to open the lid. Next, pull the two red levers out and lift the top case lid up to expand the case to its highest position, pushing the two red levers back in to lock it in place. Now with the top lid open, you can use a T20 Torx to unscrew and remove these 6 screws. So that you can lift this top cover piece up and off and place it face down on something elevated so that you can mark these 4 indents with a marker. And then use a 1/4-inch drill bit to drill out those 4 marks. Next, take these 4 U-clips and insert them into the back of the top passenger backrest pad with the flat side facing up. Now take that top cover piece and align it over the backrest pad, adding a washer to each screw, and then inserting them in through the panel and then into the pad finger tight. Before going back through and tightening them down so that they're nice and snug, making sure not to over tighten. Then you can reinstall that top cover piece onto the bike, snapping it back down and into position, before reinserting the 6 screws finger tight. And then going back through and tightening them down the rest of the way, making sure not to over tighten. Now you can slide the 2 remaining U-clips into the lower backrest pad, making sure that the flat end is facing up. Next, make a mark on these 2 indents just below the hinges for your top case lid, And then use your 1/4" drill bit to drill out those 2 marks. Now add a washer to the 2 remaining screws and insert them into the holes we just drilled, adding the backrest pad to the other end, and using a Phillips head screwdriver to tighten them down so that they're nice and snug, making sure not to over tighten.
So if you'd like to take your 2020 or newer Spyder RT from this to this, then be sure to head on over to slingmods.com today or click the link in the description below to grab a Shad Top Case for your RT. And don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so I can keep you up to date on everything Spyder. I'm Brandon, signing out. Till next time.